Good morning, friends. Speaking to you from Shropshire, near Craven Arms in the UK. And if you can hear the sheep, there's birds, very quiet. I've run here before, Together Run 35, so you can go listen to that if you haven't already. But I want you to begin, as we always do, with touching some element of nature. I am going to touch a runner bean plant of my aunt's vegetable garden. Touching the leaves right now, I can see the runner beans growing well. And that's of some significance. Let's get going and I'll explain why. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. A runner bean plant is of significance because that was my original email, no, that wasn't my first email. My first email was SportyFreak100. How's that for a first email? And my second email had runner bean in it. Not because of that. It was more of like I don't know what I was thinking. So I've touched that. Often I run down the country lanes, going by a red telephone booth, which I imagine most of you famously have seen somewhere or another, obviously out of use nowadays. We don't need payphones, do we? And I'm off on this run. Actually, the second Together Run I've recorded in a week, now that I have my mic back. But also, intentionally, I will be, I think, in the middle of a week off when you listen to this, maybe even coming to the end of a week off. And I wanted to get a run in here. Also wanted to process with you. I was meant to be having my third attempt at an ultra race this morning. Should have been doing it now. And I'm not there. So I thought I would process my thoughts with you and just be present, have someone to share the beauty of this area with and ground myself with. Even if you can't see it yourself, well, you can go on my social media and you'll see pictures of my trip here, of running here. Took a video of running in the Shropshire Hills, so you can actually see what I'm seeing. But for now, let's go through our usual elements of our Together Run. If this is your first time doing a Together Run, welcome. Excited to have you. We will be going through various meditative aspects of grounding ourselves, connecting with the world around us, connecting with our bodies, and we'll do a few different elements of that. Body scan, Census Check-In, how are you? So mental health check-in, do some updates, and all these will give spaces for you to do this alongside me, as if we were running together. And then we will do some strides, 2 strides at the 30, 45 and 60-minute mark. So it's nice and inclusive for everyone. And those strides, it doesn't matter if you've never done them before, they're not a timed thing, nothing is timed here. This is a very casual, relaxed and hopefully enjoyable experience for all of us. And so let's get started with the body scan. So I'm going to call out various parts of the body just as we scan our way down, checking through to see how we're feeling within our body and just paying attention, because we can be guilty, at least I know I can be guilty, of rushing through my run and not even taking a moment to think about how my body is feeling while I'm doing it, because my brain is in, to-do list mode or thinking mode, or occasionally listening mode. Okay, so working way down. That's a pigeon. Working way down from the top of your head, down into your eyes, making sure your eyes are nice and relaxed, not holding any tension there. Going down into your nose, round to the back of the head, which Jeremy, our podcast editor, told me is called an Indian. I've been asking that for weeks. Indian. Going down, round the front again to the mouth. Make sure you're not holding any tension there either. Nice and relaxed in your jaw. Going into your neck. And going into the back of your neck. Going down into the shoulders. Into the back of the arms. Coming around to the front. Through the elbow and forearm. Into the wrist. Into your hands. Making sure they're nice and relaxed. Imagine as Mary Kane told us a year ago, you're holding an egg in your hand, just gently holding it, and into your fingers. And coming back to the main torso. Can you hear the sheep? Again, in Together on 35, I went for a run with all the sheep in that field that they are in right there. I did that yesterday. And continuing on, going into the chest, into the stomach, going into the hips, pelvis, going into the top of your quads, the lower of your quads and hamstrings, front of the knee, round to the back of the knee, going into the calf and shin, going into the front of the inside of your ankle, around to the outside of your ankle, and into your heel, into your arch, top of the arch, bottom of the arch, and finally into your toes. Lovely. Thank you for doing that. How's your body feeling? I'm just going to give you a few seconds. Check in. Okay. For me, my throat is a little bit sore, my nose is a little bit itchy. I'm not really sure if it's allergies or I've got a cold from my kids, but definitely feeling that. Feeling a little tired, but I'm going up a hill, so who knows what that could be. Okay, so next we're going to go into our census check-in, and we are going to take in our primary senses, ending with sight, because we overutilise our sight, rely on our eyes too much. And we're just going to be in our bodies for these various things, and we'll see what we pick up. So first off, we take a nice deep breath. And one more. Now what do you smell? I smell like wood, wet wood. Oh, yes. I still haven't turned off the beep in my watch. Those of you who were listening last time haven't had a moment to sit and read through this manual, so I apologise. It's going to be beeping again. Got to make that a priority for next time. Okay, what do you taste? For me, I taste the chocolate chip oatcake I just ate before I left on my run. The next one, if it is safe to do so, when I tell you to, you will remove your headphones and you will just be in your body, in your ears for 30 seconds or so. Just going to listen to your surroundings. What's there? What do you hear? And you're just going to be there. If it is not safe for you to pull out headphones or you're not comfortable doing so, you can just listen to my surroundings. It's a bit of a odd stretch to be doing hearing, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Our run's comprised of many different elements and things. So I'm actually currently on a busy road. It's not busy right now because it's Sunday, early on a Sunday morning, but I'm on a busy road. I have to be on for about 2 minutes to get to the next part of where I want to go today. Okay, you ready? Let's take those headphones out or listen to my surroundings. Off we go. Still surrounded by sheep. Few more seconds. Oh, I have to stop and read that. Keep going. There's a sign I want to read. Oh, that's an interesting noise. Okay, you keep running. This verge is being managed for wildlife. Don't mow late cut land. The flowers provide food and home for butterflies, bees, small animals, birds and other wildlife. The verge will be cut later in the summer. These cuttings will be taken away. Don't mow it. Let it grow. Love that. Before I'm going to pause our Census Check-In to explain that a little bit. When I was up in my sister's, couldn't do a together run because I didn't have my mic. All the verges, even the ones in the suburbs, were really long grass, like taller than Bailey. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, if they lost the funding? And my brother-in-law explained that they were doing it on purpose to help the wildlife. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And by the way, while it looked long and it did look overgrown, it actually wasn't, in my eyes, any less kind of normal than seeing grass cut. And it just made me laugh because in some ways, someone somewhere decided that mowed grass cut all the way down to its base looks better or neater or I don't know, you know? And so we all just started doing it. It's another one of those things. There's Emmanuel Acho in his recent book Illogical, which if you haven't read it, definitely recommend, talks about one of the most dangerous phrases in our society is, that's just the way it's always been done. And that's the case with grass. And I saw it in Harrogate. Unfortunately, I didn't see it in my hometown of St Albans, but St Albans, they were like crowned as like the best recycler in the UK last year, so I'll give them a bit of a pass. Anyway, and so here it's already overgrown, but that's, you know, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, so I expected that, but now I've seen a sign that explains what that means and why that's there. So that's fascinating. And, you know, for those of us who live in the US, I'm sure you're already having those thoughts that I had, which is, that'll never happen. I'll never go down like that. Like, imagine all the houses not cutting their grass until June or July. I think what I read is I think it's like, obviously it depends on where you live, but for the US I think it would be probably late June if you didn't cut your grass till July. But Steve and I pushed the boundary a little bit this year. We definitely didn't do May. I don't think we were way behind everyone else, a month at least. And so, yeah, I just wanted to pause us to share that, because just think about that a little bit. Who said that mowed grass, which is not helping no one, it needs freaking watering, it is just, you know, endless with what you need to do to take care of it. Or we could get used to wildlife and provide, as I said, homes for bees and small animals and insects that literally help us stay alive on this planet, the pollinators. Something to think about. Maybe in a few years I'll start leading a charge to make that change in the US. Okay, what did you hear? Probably forgotten now, it's been a while. For me, obviously I heard the sheep, I heard a crow cawing. Oh, so many flies. I heard flies. I heard some strange collection of, I'm assuming, were birds. And the thing is, here, you hear loads of wildlife in the days, but at nights, like when we've been going outside at like 10, just to listen, I can't hear anything. Nothing. It's totally silent. Occasionally there's an odd owl hooing, but other than that, like total silence. It's just amazing how often in our lives do we have total silence. Very rarely. Okay, our next sense is our sense of touch, what you feel. So I want you to just be in your body and just seeing what comes up. What do you feel? Let your awareness bounce from one thing to the next and just be in it. Off you go. Few more seconds. Okay, as we're on the point of feel, if you did last week's Together Run, you would know that I bashed my arm on a bin, a trash can. And I put a picture in last week's Together run of my arm. It was really bruised, like a big, like purplish, turning yellowish oval around where I hit it. So if you haven't already looked at that, after you've done today, go look. Because it was a bad one, as you could tell by my voice response. Okay. What did you feel? What jumped out to you in your senses? For me, the cold air. Yeah, it must be chilly. Feels chilly here compared to when I'm out on the main road or in the sun. Air feels quite pleasant actually on my face. I feel a little bit of in my throat. I feel the phone in my hand, and I feel sweat on my nose. What did you feel? Okay, our final sense, our sense of sight. I want you to just, once again, follow your awareness, see where it goes, and just be in the moment. Off you go. I think I might go up this path, see where it goes. I might have to walk in a minute, this is very steep. A few more seconds. Okay, what did you see? For me, I saw the wildflowers, as I mentioned, the overrun sides teeming with wildlife. I see ferns. I saw kind of that one of my favourite things to see, where the trees are all kind of coming together to make a tunnel for you to run through or walk through. I saw stinging nettles, which are the only plant in the UK that really does you any bother. We don't have any of the nasties, poison ivy, oak, sumac, but stinging nettles. I know Bailey's been got a few times since we've been here, and it's been it basically touches your skin and it stings for probably an hour if you don't find what's called a dock leaf, a leaf that is this big, I don't know, leaf that disintegrates on, if you rub it on the sting, it disintegrates on it. Its oils somehow counter the oil of the stinging nettle, whatever it is on the stinging nettle, I don't know, and it makes it go away. Yeah, but they're the only thing you have to worry about, and like I said, it goes away in an hour. When I've been stung while running, it's gone away in like 10 minutes. Must be something about the blood rushing around your body or something, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to climb over this fence, going into the sun. Oh, such a beautiful view. Wish I could show you. And by the way, me climbing over this fence, totally legal. Kind of allowed to go where you want. Here, there'll be a sign saying no trespassing if you're not allowed. God, it's so beautiful. I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll pause. Yeah, why don't we all do that? Let's all stop. Yeah, really, stop, look, listen. Pause my watch. You pause your watch. Let's take a picture together. What do you see? And, as I always say, doesn't matter if what you see is a trash can and a broken something. Doesn't matter. Take a picture of you. I want to see you. That's what I want to see. Okay? Right, I'm going to take my picture. I guess I'll have to pause. All right, and I've taken mine. Have you taken yours? If you haven't, go do it. Not trying to see anything glamorous. Just want to see what you see. So I can imagine running with you. Okay, ready? Let's get back to it. I'll run it a little bit more. Oh, there's loads of flies in one little patch. Whew, this is tough running. Where were we? Had we given time for sight? Were we in sight? Yeah, we were. I'm going to go back. Give you a few more seconds to look around you. Off you go. Okay, what did you see? Oh, I'm at a farm. Let's see where this goes. Oh, alright, there's a path there. Oh, we're going to go right to the top. I'm going to have to walk again in a minute. What did you see? For me, I see all these fields, just rolling hills with fields, yellow and red and different shades of green. All these big, beautiful trees. It's like a forest there, and there's just big oaks and other massive trees just all around. It's like the picture of health. At least what I think is the picture of health. It's beautiful. I really feel so grateful every time I come here, zoning into something small. I see the purple of a thistle. They're all around here as well. I see lots of baby trees that have been planted, but they're not so young anymore. Probably 10 years old. Still going up. I think I'm getting near the top. Okay, we have 3 minutes left of 30-minute group before I'm probably going to say you do a stride. I don't think a stride's going to be realistic for me here with how steep this is. And I will go on to explain in a minute why I'm not doing this race right now. And I'll probably save that for the 30-minute mark. But in the last few minutes, I want to check in with you. How are you, really? What would you say to me if I asked you that question? Oh my God, it's so beautiful. God, I'll pause it again in a minute. Get another video. This hill is so steep. Okay, go back to you. How are you, really? If you finish thinking, dig deeper. What else would you say? And now I'm not just saying that because I'm breathing hard, going up a very steep hill. I genuinely want to know. Thank you for sharing. How am I? Right now, I feel immense love and gratitude and just like disbelief in what I'm seeing here. That our world doesn't have to be the Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, just where people live. We are so lucky to live on this world. I have this life. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm also feeling proud that I keep going up and up and seem to never reach the top, but I'm doing it. Okay, coming to a walk, 30-minute group. And again, climb this fence. Last fence, I think, to get to the top. So yeah, 30-minute group. Give you about another 20-30 seconds, and then I'm going to instruct you all how to do a stride. Okay, I feel like I should run this last little bit. Okay, ready? Well, you do a stride and I'll run. 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. Come to a jog or a walk. I didn't say what a stride is if you haven't done one before. As you felt there, 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, picking up the pace. About 80% of your max, that's all. And then take a rest. If you're in the 45 or 60-minute group, keep on jogging. If you're in the 30-minute group, you can walk in between. Give you another 30 seconds, and we'll do one more. I have so many flies buzzing around my head. Horse flies. It's horrible. It's the one downside. I'm so close to the top now. Probably you'll be finishing up your stride as I'm finishing up my hilltop. Okay, ready? 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. And come to a walk. I'm going to take a picture or a video here. I'm going to pause you for a second. You won't really know any difference. Okay, I'm back. There's also some bird of prey making an interesting noise. All right. I'm going to start my clock again. And if you haven't taken a picture already, if you didn't do it last time around, stop, please. Honestly, I really, really love to see your photos. Yes, I have a stunning view right now, but I don't care what you're seeing. I really just want to see you. And I've just taken a video of what I've seen, so you can see where you ran with me today. That's very, he's probably scared of me, isn't he? All right, I'm going to leave him alone. All right, ready? We're going to go again. Oh, I wish I could have kept going. It's a beautiful trail, but I got to get back. All right, off we go. Back down. Now I've got to try and not fall over. Okay, so we did our strides, 30-minute cruise. Thank you for joining. If you want to stay on and listen as I process, it's interesting. I think my process is going to be a bit different to what it would have been at the start of this run. now I'm just feeling overwhelmed with gratitude and love. So I don't know how, just going to be a different perspective. Okay. If you want to hang on, you can. I'm going to talk about what's going on in just a minute. But first, okay, I did mental check-in, didn't I? First, I want to ask you, what updates do you have for me? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think while I concentrate as I go down this hill, I want you to share with me what it is you would share. If this is our first time running together, you can share a little bit about you so I can get to know you. What would you tell me if we were running together for the first time about your life? Or if you've done many of these, what would you tell me since we last ran together? Or what would you tell me just you have as updates? Off you go. All right, I'll give you a few more seconds. Just coming down this really steep bit. Wearing my Allbirds tree flyers. And they have been treating me well while I've been here. Alright, I'm going to do the let go thing and then I'll... Ooh. Bombing, as the ultra runners call it. It's probably not more like bombing, for me it's like gently, carefully controlled falling. I suppose that is what it's supposed to be. Anyway, alright, so thank you for sharing with me your updates, or a little bit about you. Okay, so I mentioned, actually apparently on 2 together runs, Michael, thank you for sharing a few days ago, said about that he was encouraging me to go for it. And last week's together run wasn't out yet, so I must have talked about it in a previous together run. And so I must have mentioned it. It's a 57k ultra marathon in Snowdonia, which is the national park mountain in Wales. I think it's the highest in the UK. And I was going to do a race. I found a race. When I couldn't do my 50k in Bryce Canyon, we looked around and we found this one. We were going to go see my aunt a few days before we ended up doing it. And so I said to her, can I push our trip back a few days so I can do this race? And she said, yeah, great, do it. So then we pushed back, and I wasn't really fully committed. My training while I've been here really hasn't been stellar. I've mostly just been doing 8-mile easy runs every day. Haven't done a long run or anything, but I did do that run with Mike, not too long ago, 33 miles, and I did a 3-hour long run right before I left St. Louis, like a few days before. And so, it's going to be a very challenging race. I'd been told by my ultra friends that it's a very tough race. There was 7,000 feet of elevation gain and loss. And most of that was from miles 25 to 31 were uphill, and miles 25 to 31 were uphill, and 31 to the finish was downhill. It was 57k, which I think is almost 36 miles. And so it's going to be really challenging. It recommended poles. You had to carry all this required kit, like long sleeves and gloves, because the weather can change. And I just wanted to finish it. Like, I really just wanted to do the challenge. I knew it was going to be really difficult. I knew it would probably be the hardest thing I'd ever done. But I just wanted to do it. But that said, I wasn't fully bought in. I wasn't telling people I was doing it. I wasn't like doing all the little things I needed to do. You know, not that I had been all along, but I was just kind of like, well, I'll just do my best. I don't know if it was because I was protecting myself, my heart, because of the last 2 times of backing out a few days before, or if I just, I don't know, knew something was going to happen. But I didn't, even as we left to come down here, Steve had brought all my stuff across, massive bag of trail stuff I needed. You know, it's the summer here, I don't need waterproof pants that tape at the seams and, you know, all that stuff. But other than that, even as we left for here, we're like, well, we'll see. And I feel like there were some warning signs early on, that being one, maybe, and the fact that my dad tried to put Steve on the car insurance. You're not allowed to put US driving licenses on car insurance anymore, which meant he couldn't drive while he's here. The fact that we hadn't booked anywhere yet to stay. Steve and I were going to go up the day before. My aunt was going to watch the kids. My aunt and her partner were going to watch the kids. And it was going to be 2.5 hours away. So I would have to finish the race and drive 2.5 hours. That's another huge warning sign, right? And then my kids, again, a few days before, it was like a few days before we were leaving, Chloe gets a cough and a cold. I'm trying my hardest not to go back to my behaviours of blaming, looking for anyone to blame for her cold. And so I'm fighting against that feeling, that urge to do so. And then the day we're leaving to come here, Bailey, her nose starts running, she's coughing. Oh, by the way, Chloe's cough ended up going to croup, and then it just went back to a cold. But the day we're leaving, on the drive here, they're both coughing and their noses are running. And, you know, usually if it's just the 4 of us, whatever. If it's my parents, whatever. But there'd been a lot of back and forth. We'd pushed our trip back a further day, because to give the kids an extra day to heal up. How am I still going uphill? I thought I was, doing up on the way out. Because my aunt had chemo in 2019 and it just crushed her immune system, absolutely destroyed it. And her and Viv eat healthier than anyone I know, in terms of not like #clean eating, although they do some of that naturally. They, as you began this run with their vegetable garden, they have a massive vegetable garden. They eat salads every day as part of a meal, not as a meal, as part of a meal. they eat so many colours of the rainbow every single day, and yet they still, you know, Jenny has a dessert every day, or she'll have cakes and like, it's just so balanced. It's like they have like sauerkraut every day, and they sprinkle these like combination of like flax and all these seeds, CQ10 or something. Anyway, so that she really takes care of herself, walks every day. She's in her 70s, lives in the middle of nowhere, but her immune system just hasn't come back. And so I just talked to them, and we just decided it wasn't worth it. She's been kind of keeping a little bit of distance from the girls. But last time we were here in December, my girls had a cold, gave it to her, and it took her 3 weeks of, probably a week of which was like almost bedridden, to get rid of it. And so I've been feeling a lot of the G word since we got here, over my girls giving her yet another sickness. And so we just decided, her watching the girls, them watching the girls together. They're both amazing with the kids, but it was going to be too much. And so yet again, I had to pull out of a race with days to go because of my kid's sickness. And while I really don't think I resent the kids, I really think I'm processing it in a healthy way. I'm disappointed. I'm was really looking forward to challenging myself, because I haven't in well over a year. Like, New York was, with Lindsay and Elise for the first 10 miles, and then picked it up, but I didn't push myself that hard. And then doing, the Boston and Maui combo, of doing both of those as a guide. Definitely didn't, stretch my limits there. And then, with Mike, we were running 12-minute pace, or we averaged 12-minute pace. And so, everything's been for other people, which is amazing, and I wouldn't take that back, and I wouldn't change it. But I also do want to just challenge myself. I haven't in over a year, and it's interesting because Steve and I were talking about it, he was like, "Oh, there's a 10K tomorrow here. Why don't you do that?" And I was like, just don't want to do a 10K. So I guess it's a specific kind of pushing myself I want to do. Ultra, primarily. But also like trail or woods or something. And so, yeah, I'm disappointed. And it's also, I'm in the kind of years of my life where my body can handle this stuff. I think it can. Maybe that's why something's protecting me. Maybe it can't. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Come to a walk if you're in the 45-minute group. I'll give you 30 seconds and we'll do a stride. But yeah, so I'm not annoyed at my kids. It is what it is. It's given me some really joyful moments with them last night. This morning, Chloe was snuggling with me. So, I'm not upset or mad. I would like a chance. But maybe, I don't know, maybe this is where I come to me. Oh, I'll do the strides and then we'll finish up. All right, ready? 3, I'll do one with you. I'm going uphill. 3, 2, and 1. And come to a jog. You can run 45 minutes. Well, no, actually, 45-minute people you can walk. 60-minute people you can definitely keep going. We'll do one more. Just a minute. Sheep everywhere. All right, ready for one more? 3, 2, and 1. And come to a jog or a walk. 45-minute crew. You're welcome to hang around. Please upload a photo, social media, send it to me. I really, really, really love to see it. If you didn't take one during your run, take one now. I really, really would love to see it. I know that you joined me on this run today. But I'll finish what I'm saying if you want to listen on. This is where I tend to look for clues or lessons in my life. And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's not your time. Maybe you would have ended up, really hurting, injuring yourself by doing it. Maybe this is your time to keep giving back because the world seems to want you to do that right now. Maybe this is a sign to say, I'm trying to do too much. Can't stress my body in that way right now. It's not able to handle it, not even in terms of injuries, but because I haven't been injured in over a year. Touch wood. But maybe just tank-wise, maybe I just can't handle it and I need to just take the signs. Or maybe it's just the fact that I have 2 kids, 4 and under, and that's just how life is. Yes, it's unfortunate that the things they've had have stopped me in my tracks. COVID, you can't just say, oh, I'll do it anyway. Stomach flu, you can't do it anyway. And then this, I'm protecting one of the people I love most in this world, making the right choice for her. Yeah, and also not putting that on Steve, because the other option could have been they came with me, all 3 of them, but again, Steve can't drive, so I'd have to drop them off somewhere at 5:30 in the morning, and they just have to stay there for 7 hours. It's not fair either. So maybe that's just it. I'm at the point in my life where I have to put my wants of challenge aside. I don't know. I feel like we need a check-in. Let's go ahead and do a body scan. Yeah. And let's just check in with your body. You also can ask your mind how it's doing if you like. Just go ahead and do that. First car of the day. Not bad, is it? Back to body scan. A few more seconds. Okay, how'd your body feel now? compared to at the beginning. For me, still feeling tired. And my heel is maybe a little bit achy. Not much, but just a little bit. Okay. Thank you for listening to my debriefing or processing. Coming back towards the house now, and we're into our final 10 minutes. As with usual, we'll do our strides in 5 minutes' time, and yeah, we'll call it there. But yeah, saying that this run being at the top there, what that reminded me of, well, I would have had absolutely incredible views from the top of Snowdonia, beauty is everywhere, right? Yes, my aunt does live in a pretty spectacular, underrated place, quite intentionally, as I mentioned. Viv and Jenny are very intentional with everything they do. But it doesn't really matter where you are. As I talked about those wildflowers, those are all around, just those in themselves, just on the side of the road, all the different plants. Those are beautiful. Or your tiny little 0.1 of an acre patch of park somewhere is beautiful in its own way. And everywhere has gifts to it. New York is obviously the obvious thought that comes to mind now when you think about such a built-up suburban place. Yet they have beauty too. I'm reading a book right now called The Overstory. Some of you may have told me to read it. I mean, dozens of people have told me to read it, and I'm finally reading it, and it's so good, so interesting. It's just like little stories about people's lives, but some way, some form, they've interacted with some kind of tree, and it saved them, or in some ways been the death of them, or yeah, it's just really interesting, like peek into what the world we don't know with trees and nature. So it's a 600 and something page book, and I'm only about 130 pages in, but so far I'm loving it. I think I only started it when I got here. Here is in Shropshire, not the UK, so I'm reading through it pretty quick. So I want to thank you to those of you who have left an iTunes review recently. I really appreciate that. That's really helpful for me. And also to those of you who continue to share your pictures of you doing together runs. I really do love to see these. If you didn't take a picture during our run, just snap one after. Doesn't matter what you look like. You'll see I took a video. I just swallowed a fly. I was turning around to look at this car. Yuck. Another fly. Right, no hitting my arm this time. Yuck. What was I saying? Yeah, just take a picture. I took one. It's not a particularly nice one. You'll see the video I took. But I really love seeing it, of what you're doing, that you're enjoying these, and that you're here. So thank you to those of you who continue to do that. I really love it. Also, if you haven't come back to me about our weekly strides idea of mini 5 to 15 minute episodes of where I'm answering questions on, answering questions you submit. Please let us know if you like the sound of that. We're going to be putting those out coming on Wednesdays. If you have a question, send me an email. It'll be like Tina for real. Those of you who remember that, I know that was wildly popular. So these weekly strides episodes, weekly strides will be coming out soon. You know what, friends? I think I might just come to walk. I am feeling tired. I'm going to take a few days off. And I'm waiting until I get back to St. Louis, though, because it's like 100 degrees, not exaggerating, in the day. So I'm just going to I'm leaving here I've got 3 days left, but I'm going to come to a walk. Feel free to keep going if you want, but I'm proving I can listen. I mean, I know it's only a minute and a half early. I'll talk you through a stride in case you want to do it. You ready? 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. And come to a jog. Give you another few more seconds. We'll go again. And 3, 2, and 1. Off you go. Come to a jog or a walk. I don't know when your 60 minutes is going to be up, but when you do finish, I invite you to just connect some element of nature. I'm touching a tall grass, finding one that is up to my shoulder, long because it's been let to grow. It's got its, seeds or something on there. Friends, thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Hi friends, just a quick message to say a big thank you to the Running for Real team. While I may be the face of Running for Real and the voice behind the podcast, there are a group of people who are working tirelessly to provide everything that runners could need within our community, to make our community stronger, better, and evolve and grow and learn from one another. We are working really hard to make Running for Real the place we believe it can be within our community. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone on our team. That is Victoria, Stacey, Sandy, Sally, Maria, Kelsey, Kat, Jeremy, and Erica. I appreciate each and every one of you and the hard work that you put in. Now let's get back to the show.